Konnichiwa minasan! After being inspired by my last video where I made candy sushi, I've decided to give you guys a little introduction into the varieties of sushi, so that when you're at a sushi restaurant, you'll be an expert and know exactly what each kind of sushi is. So sushi actually came from the term sour tasting and can be written in 4 of these ways. It was historically fermented, called nare-zushi, and in the background I have a little picture of nare-zushi for you guys. I actually could not find some nare-zushi, so I kind of made it with other sushi that I bought. But it is actually fish that was preserved and fermented in rice. The fermentation would give the fish a sour taste, but the rice actually wasn't eaten. You can actually still get nare-zushi in some areas of Japan nowadays though. However, the sushi that we know today was invented by a man named Hanaya Yohei at the end of the Edo period in Edo, which is now actually called Tokyo. Sushi was a fast food which was prepared quickly, and they actually used fresh fish, not fermented fish. It could easily be eaten with your hands, and it was originally called Edo Mae-zushi, because the fish were from the Edo Bay, now known as Tokyo Bay. However, now we call them Nigiri sushi. The fish no longer comes from Tokyo Bay, but it's still formally known as Edo Mae-zushi. So now onto the base of most sushi, the sushi rice. In Japanese it's called sushimeshi or sumeshi, and it is white short grain Japanese rice mixed with a dressing made of rice, vinegar, sugar, salt, and sometimes kombu and sake. It must be cooled to room temperature though before using, or else it'll be too sticky to use with your hands. It's traditionally mixed in something called a hangiri, which is a round flat bottom wooden tub with a shamoji, which is the spatula that I've shown you guys in one of my past videos. However, the dressings for sushi rice vary per region. In the Kanto region, which is like eastern Japan, there's a little bit more salt in the dressing, and in the Kansai or West Japan region, it's a little bit more sweet. Another staple to sushi is nori. It is a type of algae now commercially produced, but it used to be cultivated in Japanese harbors, rolled into thin sheets, and dried in the sun. You can eat it as it is as a snack that's salted and seasoned sometimes. I've mostly seen it within Korean cuisine, and you can eat it with rice and it is so good. But in terms of sushi, usually it's wrapped around the perimeter or securing the topping to the rice. Now onto the varieties of sushi. First we have sashimi, which is actually just sliced raw fish, no rice with it. And this can be kind of connected to another kind of sushi called chirashi sushi. That means in Japanese scattered sushi, and it is a bowl of sushi rice topped with a variety of sashimi and garnishes like egg or salmon roe, and depending on the region it is from, it can include cooked ingredients as well. This one is called Inari sushi, and it is a fried tofu pocket that's seasoned and stuffed with sushi rice, and sometimes comes with toppings like chirashi sushi with salmon roe or egg or beef. Now we have maki sushi, and there are tons of different kinds of maki sushi, but what maki sushi is sushi that's formed with something called a makisu, and with that makisu, it's rolled into a cylindrical shape. It's typically wrapped in nori, and it's cut into 6 or 8 equal pieces. One kind of maki sushi is called futomaki, and that means in Japanese thick or large rolls. They're 5 to 6 centimeters in diameter and have many fillings, chosen for flavor but also for color. These particular futomaki can also be called uramaki. In Japanese that means inside out roll, where the rice is on the outside, the nori is on the inside, which is wrapped directly around the fillings. The outer coating is sometimes wrapped in sesame seeds or something called tobiko, which are flying fish roe as well. They're actually quite uncommon in Japan though, because it's quite difficult to eat with your fingers. Then we have the opposite called hosomaki, which means thin rolls in Japanese. These are small cylindrical rolls that are 2.5 centimeters in diameter, usually with one filling like cucumber or raw tuna. This is temaki. In Japanese it means hand roll, and it's actually cone shaped with fillings spilling out of the other wide end. It's eaten with your hands and actually eaten quite quickly so that the nori doesn't get soggy from all of the ingredients stuffed inside. The next category of sushi is called nigiri sushi. This actually means in Japanese hand-pressed sushi, and the verb nigiru means to squeeze in Japanese. Nigiri sushi is shaped by the sushi chef with neta, meaning topping, on top of the rice. Some toppings are secured with a thin strip of nori, like the sweet egg sushi in Japanese tamago, and unagi, which means eel in English. Nigiri sushi are usually served in sets of 2, and the counter for sushi used to actually only be in sets of 2, so kan would be the counter, and if you ordered wankan or ikkan in Japanese, you'd actually get 2 pieces of sushi. However, times have now changed, and sometimes now if you order ikkan, meaning 1 counter, 1 sushi, you actually only get 1 piece of sushi instead of 2. Here we have Gunkel Maki. It's a kind of nigiri sushi, meaning warship roll in Japanese. It's an oval-shaped rice ball with nori wrapped around the perimeter of the rice this time, with a soft topping like sea urchin, flying fish roe, or raw tuna with green onion called negitoro, which is so good. All of you need to go to a sushi place and order it. It's so yummy. And also the reason why the nori is wrapped around the perimeter is so that it can create a little barrier so that the soft topping doesn't fall off the sushi. Here we have something called oshi sushi, and in Japanese it means pressed sushi. It's from the Kansai region of Japan, so the more western side of Japan. This sushi is shaped like a block, and it's actually made in a wooden mold, where you put the topping in first, and then top with sushi rice and press down with the lid from the sushi mold, and then you unmold it and you slice the sushi into pieces. This sushi can also be used as another example for something called aburi sushi. And aburu means to grill or broil something, so this is a kind of nigiri sushi, where the top surface of the topping is broiled, while the middle of the topping is still raw. So in this case, the salmon is lightly grilled on top, as you can see, but while eating it, you'll notice that the inside of the salmon is still raw. So, how do you eat sushi? Well, nigiri sushi is traditionally eaten with your fingers, even in formal settings. And eating with one of the first condiments, which is soy sauce or shoyu in Japanese, you want to actually dip only the fish into the soy sauce and not have the soy sauce touch the rice. This is because the rice will absorb too much soy sauce and it could make your sushi fall apart. And sometimes it's difficult to just dip the topping into the soy sauce without the rice and everything falling into the dish of the soy sauce. So in that case, you can pick up a piece of gari, which is ginger that comes with your sushi, and dip that into the soy sauce and then paint it like a paintbrush onto the topping of your sushi. For other sushi that already have a sauce on them, like unagi or eel, you actually don't want to dip this in the soy sauce and just eat it as is. So the second condiment with sushi is wasabi. And wasabi is actually a plant. It's a root called Wasabia japonica, and it's also called Japanese horseradish sometimes, even though it's not actually horseradish. Wasabi was traditionally added by the sushi chef, as it was thought that the sushi chef best understood the flavors of sushi and knew how much should actually be added. But nowadays things have changed a little bit, and extra wasabi is served on the side with the sushi. The last condiment that goes with sushi is something called gari, and gari is thinly sliced young ginger which is pickled in a sugary vinegar, and it's used at sushi restaurants. It's used as a palate cleanser and is eaten in between sushi so that your tongue will be fresh and able to enjoy the new flavors of each sushi. You don't actually eat gari or the ginger in the sushi, but you have it as an accompaniment on the side with your sushi. Ginger actually also has antiseptic qualities, and it was actually eaten in the past to prevent food poisoning when you're eating the raw fish, just in case it was a little bit bad. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you feel more confident now when going into a sushi restaurant and ordering. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!